For that, they pushed for an autopsy. However, the medical examiner eventually ruled that it was in fact self-inflicted and likely her cause of death was asphyxiation. And after that, her body was released to her family so they could begin planning a funeral and a memorial service. Bethany's funeral was held on November 9th, but to her family, there had been no closure. They were just incredibly shocked and confused as to how everything in Bethany's life had led to this point. It also seemed like they still didn't fully agree with the investigators' findings. There were just too many things that did not make sense. Things like the fact that a registered nurse with knowledge and access to heavier medications would choose Tylenol PM to take her own life, or that this bag would just be loosely placed over her. There were a lot of things that just did not add up. Still, though, her family had to lay her to rest. So they got ready that morning. They headed off to the cemetery and they planned on saying their final goodbyes. However, as they were on their way, Bethany's mom heard her phone ring, and it was a phone number that she didn't recognize. When she answered, it was the investigators on the other end of the line, and they sounded frantic. And very quickly they said to her, "Do not bury Bethany." We talk about a lot of things on here, but I don't think we talk enough about how much sleep literally affects everything. Your mood, your focus, your energy, and it all starts with how well you slept the night before. Now for me, back in 2021, when I upgraded to my Helix mattress, that was like the life hack of life hacks, because not all mattresses are one size fits all. And Helix actually customizes your mattress based on your sleep style and your preferences. So whether you sleep on your side, your back, you run hot, you need more support, there is a model built for you. I have the Sunset Luxe. It is the best ever. I will never, ever, I'm saying this right now, I will never switch mattresses. I got one for my guest room, got one for my mom, my sister just got one. And what I had noticed was that I almost immediately was like sleeping deeper. Sleep felt more consistent. It felt like a freaking moon cloud. It is the best. I wasn't waking up as much. I still don't wake up that much. And they just make it so easy. Shipping is free. It comes straight to your door. And get this, you get a 120-night sleep trial to make sure that it's right for you. Have you ever heard of something like that? Plus, it's one of the most awarded mattress brands, recommended by places like Forbes and Wired. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your sleep, this is one of those changes that you got to do, and it will pay off. Trust me, I am years in now. I've never flipped it, never rotated it, never had to do anything. It is the best. So right now, go to helixsleep.com/serialously for 20% off. That's helixsleep.com/serialously for 20% off. helixsleep.com/serialously. So her family is on the way to lay her to rest. They receive this phone call from the investigators, panicked, frantic, just yelling out, "Do not bury Bethany." And as it turns out, earlier that morning, someone had walked into the police station and had confessed to murdering Bethany. But it wasn't Tyler. The person who confessed to Bethany's murder was somebody very unfamiliar to Bethany's family. It was a 23-year-old man named Micah Moore. Micah had been a longtime friend of both Tyler and Bethany and was also part of the community. But the truth was, Bethany's life within the community had been such a mystery to her family that they didn't even know who this person was. Micah had met both Bethany and Tyler back at Southwestern University during his freshman year. Apparently, he had taken acid, and the trip that he had was something that just, changed him, according to his friends and roommates at the time. So when Micah had learned about the prayer group, he decided to join, hoping that it would not only fix his relationship with God and religion, but that it would fix him as a whole. And he was one of the originals within the group, long before they ever moved to Kansas City. But the closeness that Micah had with some of the other members of the community, it extended much farther than just the prayer sessions. It turns out that Micah ended up being one of the men that Tyler had a sexual relationship with, which made Micah's confession seem almost a little more credible.